Today we have quite a lot of news coming in from the Paris Game Show regarding Street Fighter V. I am quite hyped. We've got a release date. We can tick off Dhalsim from our rumors list is now actually a part of the game, and actually the rest of the people who we thought were or who we put in the rumor list could potentially be removed from that rumor list as potential DLC in the first year. But before I break down any of the news, let us check out this cool compilation of all the characters that are in the game, and let's welcome in one of, I don't know, it's just a very unique character, someone I wish I actually could learn and get good with. That's Dhalsim. Please enjoy, and then I'll catch you after this trailer with a lot to talk about. Well, not really a lot, but let me not take your time.
Fight!
Well, as you may have seen in the initial frames of the video, I put down a little notepad with some of the notes that I had written from different various article sources, namely from Shoryuken.com and a few other articles from the Paris Game Show itself. One thing we have to note is that the game has been given a release date. This could change at any point, but the date that they're deciding to stick with now is February 16, 2016. For me personally, I'm happy because initially they had said spring 2016, which could have potentially been April or May, which was a way far, and for me during that time I will be getting a little bit busy with some life problems. But besides that, February is quite near. It's just after the new year, and for me personally February will be winter vacation, so well, the end of winter vacation, so definitely gonna be having a hands-on experience with Street Fighter V whenever it drops on that day, if nothing changes. So we've got the release date. Now people may be wondering then, who did they release at the Paris Game Show? Well, the trailer finally showed us Yoshinori Ono was hinting towards a new character reveal, and it's finally out. It's Dhalsim, another classic world warrior from the history book itself. Dhalsim, the true Zona, is back, and it's quite interesting to me because I felt that this game was very anti-zoning, and to put someone who excels at keeping people full screen and keeping people away as Dhalsim, it would be very interesting to see how he can handle himself, and how, for example, Ryu can handle himself in a game where everyone really wants to get in, and it's a heavy grappler game with many anti-fireball mechanics in play. It's going to be really interesting to see what Dhalsim can do personally for me, and I'm sure there are a lot of professional Dhalsim players who will be interested to see what they can do in this game. Besides that, let's look at the main bulk. I've made up just a few sentences worth of notes. Apparently they're moving into, well, we already knew this, but they're moving into a more free-to-play style model in making the game. The game will have DLC characters, and I'm assuming that of course the game will have DLC costumes, and maybe even the game could have DLC soundtracks or DLC titles and stuff to customize for your profile. Potentially could have DLC stages that they can make later on in the game's lifespan. Anything is possible because DLC is just exactly that, downloadable content that can be made by anybody. And I'm sure the PC community will be even making mods that you can download as well, but that has nothing to do with Capcom as of yet, so let's not talk about it. So you can level up characters and complete daily challenges to earn fight money in Street Fighter V. Of course, fight money is what you're going to use to buy all this downloadable content, whether it's characters, whether it's character costumes, etc. Let me just start on a quote by quote on each sentence so that I don't lose my trail of thought. The developers will do gradual DLC releases to keep fans engaged constantly instead of having bulk DLCs on a yearly or a 2-year basis. Now, if you look at every Street Fighter game in the past, usually they would release the base game, and then maybe after 1 year they would release the super version of that. For example, there was Super Street Fighter 4, and then after that they made Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. Then maybe a year or two later they made Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition version 2012. Then 2 years later after that there was Ultra Street Fighter 4 on PC, for example. That's so what they'll do is they'll hold off for 1 year, hold off for 2 years, then give in a whole bulk of characters and costumes and functionality and balance changes and all that stuff all in one big package, and usually had to pay for it. Now they've seen that people never really like the system and they're potentially making losses from that system. They've seen that it's better instead to make things a little bit more accessible, to reward players for playing the game longer, because in the end, if people play for longer extensive time, it's better for Capcom, because that means you are training more players to potentially compete in online and offline tournaments, which is a part of esports, which can benefit Capcom much more than just generic DLC purchases. For me personally, I think it's a great idea, because there's sometimes, for example, when I would like to get, for example, a DLC character, but I just don't want to spend money on the game. I've already bought the game and I'm broke, and then now I have to buy more characters. It's like, really, why am I doing this? I don't have any money, and then I end up missing out. So in this case, at least I'll get the chance, and most people get the chance to play and earn this fight money so that they can buy in-game DLC. Now, on my second note I wrote, there are plans to have 6 additional characters in the year 2016, which will bring the game's total roster to 22 from the current 16 total characters before the year 2017, if there are no problems with the development process of next year's DLC. And they've actually given us a sneak peek as to who those 6 characters could be. At the end of this video, I'll show you the JPEG image of the silhouettes of all the characters that could potentially be in this game. I can't really be 100% certain I can see who is in the image, but for example, with some of the poses, I believe I saw Guile, I saw Balrog the boxer, and potentially Alex. Those 3 are the only ones I can say I have a strong feeling will 100% be in the game based on their silhouettes. The other images, on the other hand, were not too clear for me, but I personally have eye problems and I wear glasses. My sight isn't so great, so maybe someone else will figure out the image. On the third point, it's written that unlocking these characters will require you to have fight money, the in-game currency. You acquire this by playing matches, completing daily challenges, and leveling up your player points and individual character points. There was a side note that had to be stated that leveling up each of your characters does not boost your gameplay in any way. You will not have any advantage. It's just a way to show other people your dedication to learning and playing the character that you've selected. And of course your own player points are just a dedication or an indication to how dedicated you are to the game overall and how good you are as a player. It's sort of a ranking system. Anyone who's played the Street Fighter series before this will know about PP, which is player points, and BP, which is battle points. Player points were your points that were assigned to you as a player, and you used to rank yourself to see that how good am I. The more player points you have, the better you are as a player, which means you win more against other people. Battle points show you how much effort and time you've put into a given character and show you your rank on that character as compared to other people's ranks. And for example, the more battle points you have, the smaller your rank will be. So for example, if you're playing Ryu, you could have, for example, 20,000 battle points and you'll be the number 5 Ryu in that given platform you're playing on. So it's just an indicator. This is similar to most free-to-play games models in the sense that you are rewarded by playing the game with currency and you can spend it on in-game items. But if you don't have the time to grind it out, you can actually spend real money to buy a special in-game currency to make those purchases. Now people may be wondering, what is this special in-game currency? It's actually called Zenny. This could actually explain the Zen that was found in the in-game text dumps and text dumps that were data mined a couple of days back in the PC beta. The Zen that was found could have actually been the special premium currency that you can get by spending real money, but no one really knows for a fact, because in the text dumps it's Zen, but the full name that we've been given here of the premium currency is Zenny with a double N. So maybe Zen is short for Zenny, or they're totally two different things. Zenny is actually the premium currency that you can obtain by spending real money on the game. I wrote here in brackets, I guess, that Zen is not a character after all. And a funny side note is that Zen is actually a currency in the Dragon Ball Z universe. So I don't know. They could potentially get sued for that. That's I don't know. I don't know. Some interesting stuff has come out of the Paris Game Show. You should go check out the rest for yourself. Of course, I can't give you everything because I do not know everything. But I'm glad you're watching. Thank you very much. I love you. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.